This is a review of the Model 85 Snub Nose 38 Special by Taurus. Safety check. Chambers are empty. First I'll go over the specs for the handgun. This is a 2-inch barrel. They do make the Model 85 with a 3-inch barrel as well. It is 4.28 inches in height, 1.34 inches in width, and weighs 21 ounces unloaded. It is a double action, single action revolver. The heavy trigger pull and double action, and a crisp trigger pull and single action. The trigger pull and double action is a little crunchy up until the break, which breaks nice and light. The grip is rubberized. As you can see, doesn't quite fill my entire hand. My pinky sits just on the edge. And I have medium-sized hands, so some of the larger hands may have issues with their pinky hanging off the grip. I did do some shooting I recorded that I will cut into the video. I did 5 rounds with 2 rounds of the Fiocchi Extrema 125 grain XTP hollow points plus P, and 3 rounds of the 158 grain full metal jacket from Arms Corps. This is the first time I've shot this ammo out of this particular gun, and you'll see that, well, it looked like maybe the ammo had a little bit of problem. So I'm going to go ahead and go through the shooting portion of the video. The first 3 rounds were 2 rounds of the Extrema plus P and 1 round from the Arms Corps, and they were all fired double action from 7 yards. Moved the target back to 50 feet and fired the last 2 rounds single action, attempting to make headshots. As you heard, there was a click, a misfire on the last round. When I removed the bullets and looked, there was a light primer strike. Now, I've put over 100 rounds through this gun, and I've never had that problem prior. And this is the first time I was shooting this Arms Corps, so I don't know if it was the bullet or it was the gun. I haven't had that on any other type of ammo, so I'm chalking that up to maybe that was a hard primer on that round. So I unloaded, reloaded, and attempted to fire the bullet again. As you can see, the second time I put the round through, it did fire. So that light primer strike, again, I'm going to chalk that up to the ammo rather than the pistol itself. I did miss my first shot in single action mode, but that was not the gun, that was me. Coming from the double action trigger pull, I jerked the trigger a little bit when it was in single action, threw my shot off. but the second shot I was able to hit my target. My overall impressions of this pistol is, for the money, it is a nice little pistol. The trigger, well, all revolver triggers are heavy and double action, but this particular one, right about here, it's a little crunchy, and you can even kind of hear. And it just feels like there's a little bit of a, I'm trying to figure out how to explain it. As I begin to pull, it's like a little bit of extra give right at that point before it tightens up, which can throw you off a little bit. It takes some getting used to. But once the hammer's back, it becomes very smooth and crisp, even though it's still heavy. So that first part of the pull to stage the hammer, it feels a little funky, but once you get the hammer back, it becomes very nice and smooth. The spur, very easy to pull back. It's got a, if you can see that, the serrations make it very easy to pull that hammer back to grasp. So pulling it back to single action mode is very easy to do. And again, once it's back in single action, the trigger is very far back, and it's a very, very light pull to drop the hammer. You can get these for around anywhere from $250 to $275 online. Our local gun store, I think it runs about $285, $290. So it's not a very expensive revolver. And if you're just looking for something for home defense, or even a budget self-defense gun, I think this would be a good choice. If you're used to revolvers, or maybe you don't like semi-autos, or you're new to shooting and you want something that's very simplistic. You know, this goes outside of the debate of how many rounds do I want to carry, is 5 enough. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking just about overall the feel of the gun, the ease of shooting. It's not difficult at all. So for the price, it's not a bad gun. And like I said, that one light primer strike is the only failure I've had. I've put about a little over 100 rounds through it. I've shot almost about half the box of the Fiocchi, testing out the Plus P hollow points, and I've had no problems with those. I went through a box of Magtech 38 Special, and I didn't have any failures on those, as well as a box of Remington. I had no failures on those, so it was the Armscore is the only one I've had a problem with. So I hope you find this video helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. Have a good one.